Hey, in this week's lesson, I'm going to teach you 7 English phrases that will enhance, build, and strengthen your English conversation skills. Are you ready? Well then, I'm teacher Tiffany. Let's jump right in. Phrase number 1, cut to the chase. Excellent. Again, after me. Cut to the chase. Excellent. Now, this phrase literally just means to get to the point without wasting time. Imagine you asked someone for directions. Hey, I'm trying to get to this restaurant. Can you tell me how to get there? And instead of them giving you the directions, they start talking about their dog, or talking about their day, or talking about a test they're about to take. They're not getting to the point. They're not giving you directions. In this situation, you could say, hey, I'm sorry. Can you please cut to the chase? I really need the directions. Again, getting to the point without wasting time. Make sense? Excellent. All right, check out this first example sentence. We don't have much time, so let's cut to the chase. Next, sentence number 2. He tends to ramble, but eventually he'll cut to the chase. He tends to go on and talk about things not related to the topic, but he'll cut to the chase. You got it? Excellent. All right. And sentence number 3. I wish she would cut to the chase and stop beating around the bush. Make sense? Excellent. So the very first English phrase you must understand and know how to use in order to enhance your English conversation skills is cut to the chase. Yes, great job. Now we're going to move on to number 2. But before we move to number 2, I want to remind you, everything that I'm teaching you in this lesson, you can practice, you can review by opening up my app, English with Tiffani. Now, the link for the app, if you're watching the YouTube video lesson, is right in the description. Open the app on your phone. You can download it for free, and you can practice what you're learning. This is how you'll enhance your skills even more. So again, download the English with Tiffani app. So let's move now on to number 2. English phrase number 2 after me. Sit tight. Good job. Again, sit tight. Excellent. Now, this is a phrase we use all the time in America. And I personally use this all the time. It literally just means to remain patiently in one place or situation until further notice. To sit in an area, patiently waiting for something to happen. For example, the MVA, Motor Vehicle Administration. This is where you would go to get your driver's license, to get things for your car, all of the documents. Many times you have to wait for a long period of time when you go to the MVA. So when you get there, you get your number, you're waiting for your number to be called. Someone can grab the mic and say, hey everyone, please sit tight. We're going to get to you. Don't worry. They're literally just saying, hey everyone, please sit patiently. We are going to call your number soon. Make sense? Excellent. All right, here's the first example sentence. Sit tight. The doctor will be with you shortly. This is one of the best example sentences. Why? Because sit tight will be used in a doctor's office. It will be used when you go to an appointment. So now, as an English learner, when you hear someone say, sit tight, you'll understand what they're saying. Make sense? Excellent. All right, here's the second example sentence. We're just waiting for the green light from the boss, so sit tight. You see how this can be used even in a work environment. You're working on a project and you're waiting for the boss to give you his or her review, his or her feedback. What's the next step? And someone says, hey, listen, sit tight. The boss will contact you soon. Please be patient. You got it? Good job. All right, and sentence number 3. I know you're eager to hear the results, but you'll have to sit tight for now. You see how powerful this simple phrase actually is? Again, I know you're eager to hear the results, but you'll have to sit tight for now. You'll have to wait patiently for now. You understand? Yes, you're so smart. All right, so again, phrase number 2 is sit tight. Now, phrase number 3 is another very important one. After me, jump the gun. Good, don't be scared. I'll explain again. Jump the gun. Excellent. Now, this is not anything about violence. This phrase is not related to violence. Instead, jump the gun literally just means to do something too early or prematurely. You're doing it before the time. For example, if I were to all of a sudden start singing story time, hey, I said it's story time. You could say, hey teacher, hey Tiffani, don't jump the gun. Story time is at the end of the lesson. You got it, right? And don't you worry, I got a good story time for you today. So again, this is how we use jump the gun, to do something too early or prematurely. So check out this first example sentence. I think you're jumping the gun by buying a car before you have your license. You're doing it too early. You're doing it prematurely. First, get a license, then buy a car. Next, sentence number 2. They jumped the gun and announced the deal before it was finalized. And last, we have the third example sentence. Let's not jump the gun and assume it's a done deal. Let's not act prematurely and assume it's a done deal. Make sense? Excellent. All right, so again, phrase number 3, jump the gun. Let's move on to English phrase number 4. English phrase number 4 is bite off more than I can chew. Excellent. Very good. Again, after me. Bite off more than I can chew. Excellent. Now, this is a phrase that simply means to take on a task that is too big to handle. I'll say it one more time. To take on a task that is too big to handle. I want you to imagine a new employee. A new employee starts working at a large corporation. And this new employee is still trying to understand how things are done, but he is eager. So he says to his boss, hey, I can handle the new project. Give it to me. I'll do my best. The manager could say to this individual, hey, I know you're excited, but you can't do this, right? You're going to be biting off more than you can chew because you don't know how things work yet. Make sense? Excellent. Again, so bite off more than I, than she, than he can chew. All right, here's the first example sentence. I think I've bitten off more than I can chew with this renovation project. Whew, it's taking more of my time than I realized. Next, sentence number 2. She tends to bite off more than she can chew. And finally, sentence number 3. Don't bite off more than you can chew by taking on too many responsibilities. Make sense? Excellent. So once again, we have the fourth English phrase. Bite off more than I can chew. Now, let's move on to phrase number 5, another important one. Remember, we're learning English phrases that will help you do what? Boost your conversation skills. Number 5, play it by ear. Excellent. Again, play it by ear. Great job. Now, this phrase is used on a regular basis, literally all the time. What does it mean? It just means to decide how to deal with a situation as it develops, rather than acting according to a plan. In other words, you don't have a plan in place. Or if you do have a plan in place, you toss it out the window and say, hey, let's just go with the flow. Let's just figure things out as we go along. Let's just play it by ear. Make sense? Excellent. All right, here's the first example sentence. I'm not sure what we'll do this weekend. We'll just play it by ear. This is a very commonly said statement. Sentence number 2. Let's play it by ear. We can always adjust the plan. And sentence number 3. We don't have a set schedule, so we're playing it by ear. You got it? Excellent. All right, again, English phrase number 5 is play it by ear. Now we have phrase number 6 after me. Go the extra mile. Good. Again, go the extra mile. Excellent. All right, go the extra mile. This is one of my favorite phrases because it really characterizes my ideal when it comes to work ethic. Go the extra mile. It means to do more than what is expected. Again, to do more than what is expected. You go above and beyond. You work harder. You give 110%. You go the extra mile. This is something that I live by. No matter what I'm doing, I want to make sure I give more, I do more than is expected. Make sense? Excellent. All right, here's the first example sentence. He always goes the extra mile for his customers. Next, to make it in this industry, you'll have to go the extra mile. And finally, she's a hard worker and always willing to go the extra mile. She's always willing to do extra, to work harder. Again, after me, go the extra mile. Woo, good job, good job. All right, English phrase number 7. English phrase number 7. Back to square one. Excellent. Again, back to square one. Great job. Now, this English phrase, it literally just means to start again because an attempt or approach has failed. Something you tried did not work out the way you thought it was going to work out. So you're starting again. You're going back to square one. Something failed, didn't work out the way you thought it was going to, so you decide to start over again. All right, check out this first example sentence. The deal fell through, so it's back to square one. Make sense? Yes, the deal fell through, so we have to figure something out again. Sentence number 2. If this plan doesn't work, we're back to square one. And sentence number 3. After the breakdown of negotiations, they were back to square one. You got it? Excellent. So again, number 7, back to square one. Now, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you start using these phrases today to boost your English conversation skills. And I will talk to you in the next lesson. You still there? You know what time it is. It's story time. Hey, I said it's story time. All right. So for today's story, it's funny. I told this story a long time ago, and I recently told this story to one of my friends maybe about 2 or 3 days ago. So I told you all this story probably about a year or two ago here on the YouTube channel. So this is a story about something I saw when I was in South Korea. I saw something that was not of God. So I was living with another teacher, right? We lived in an apartment. There were 2 bedrooms, actually 3 bedrooms in the apartment we were living in. And the teacher I was living with, she had an early morning class. I think her class started at 6 a.m. Mine didn't start until 8 a.m. But I'm an early bird, so I was always awake when she was getting ready for class. So we chat a little bit and just kind of talking back and forth as she was getting ready to go to work. So on this day, I was awake, but I happened to be in my room while she was getting ready. But my door was kind of open. I think my door was open. And I was laying in bed and I was kind of just reading. And all of a sudden, I heard a scream. She said, "Ah, Tiff." So I jumped out of my bed and I ran out of my room to where the kitchen was. And I was like, "Hey, girl, what's wrong? What's wrong?" Because it was early in the morning. She said, "Tiff, you have to kill it." I said, "I have to kill what?" She said, "Look." And I could see the fear written all over her face. Now, I was expecting it to be a cockroach. I don't like cockroaches, but I'm not scared of them. I'll hit it to kill it. But I looked at her face and I said, she's seeing something else because this fear is different. And I could see myself. It was like slow motion. I was looking at her eyes and then I was following where her eyes were looking, and I looked on the ground and it was the ugliest bug I have ever seen in my entire life. It literally looked like a spider and a cricket had a baby. I was like, "What is that?" She said, "Tiff, I don't know, you have to kill it." Now, up until this point, it had not moved. It had not moved. So she and I both walked slowly closer to it, right? Again, roaches, they move fast, but you can still walk up on them. So we were assuming it had the movement of a cockroach. So we slowly got closer. Oh my goodness. I literally can remember it like it was yesterday. As we got closer, so our feet stopped, right? And we kind of leaned over, right? So we were kind of over it, right? It was on the ground. We were standing. So let's say we were each from each other about 5 feet, and it was right in the middle. So we're each about 2.5 feet away from this horrible thing. So we both lean our heads over to look at it. And I kid you not, it jumped straight up. Remember, I'm 5 feet from her. It's right in the middle. We're leaning over. It jumps straight up in the air and is literally higher than us. It goes above our head. It jumped that high in the air. I have never moved that quickly in the morning in my life. As soon as it got in the air and it was at eye level with her, with both of us, I screamed, ran back to my room. She screamed, ran back to her room, and we both slammed the door. I said, "Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord." I said, no. She said, "Tiff." So we're both screaming from our rooms, doors closed, talking to each other like, "We gotta kill it, we gotta kill it." I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Did you see how high it jumped in the, I'm not doing that. So it took about maybe 2 to 3 minutes. We both decided, okay, well, we can't just let it run around the house, around the apartment. So we both, slowly opened our doors, and I'm trying to remember if we saw it. We saw it in the corner. And I told her, I said, "Here's the deal." I said, "I'm not killing it." I said, "I also have 2 hours before my class, so I'm going back to my room." I said, "I'll just eat later." She said, "Tiff," I said, "I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you as you get ready for school, and I hope that it doesn't attack you." And she said, "Okay." I said, "Here's the deal. As long as he we've said, okay, it's a male. We said, as long as he doesn't jump anywhere near us, he's fine. And we literally left him alone. We didn't kill it. I spoke to it from a distance. I said, listen, as long as you don't attack us, as long as you don't move close to us, you can do whatever you want. We just don't want to see you. We're going to go to school and teach. I'm leaving in 2 hours. She's leaving now. You can have full reign. My door's closed. Her door's going to be closed. But when we get back home, you need to be gone. And that was the last time we saw it. But literally, it looked like a spider and a grasshopper had a baby. And if you go on Google and type grasshopper and spider mix, it actually pops up because it looks horrendous. And some of you might have it in your countries. All I know is that on that day, I realized, no, there are some things I won't do. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please continue studying hard, and I'll talk to you in the next lesson.